Hi, we just finished meeting for pronunciation practice on Tuesday, May 9th. And we started with three words that have very similar vowels: beater, bitter, better. So, beat is the same vowel as eat, and bitter is the same vowel as it or hit, and excuse me, better is the same vowel as yes. So if you see on the vowel diagram, eat it, yes. Beater is the highest your tongue should be. Beater. And bitter, bi, be, bi. You should relax the middle. Be, bi, be, bi. And then better, excuse me, is like yes, it was almost flat. Beat, eat, bit, bitter, it, bet, better. So that's what these mean right here. If you have trouble finding the I position as in hit, that's common. It's a very tiny difference between eat and it. So maybe if you think of it as a single syllable word like bit, I bit my tongue. Little also has the same vowel, little. That's a little bit bitter, meaning bitter as a sour taste. That's a little bit bitter. That might help you with the repetition to find that same position. Um, this is a list of words that look so similar, have different meanings and different sounds. Wound is an injury, a noun. Woo. So, woo, your lips have to get very small. Wound. And you don't have to say the D. Wounded is past tense verb for making an injury. Wounded. Yesterday, I fell and wounded my knee. Knees. And wound. I had to stop and think. The past tense of the verb wind is wound. I'll put it here. Yesterday, I wound the clock. And wind, the air. Wind. That's it. And wind. This is the present tense verb of to wind. I need to wind the clock. Or maybe that's future. Yeah, for future. I need to wind the clock tomorrow. Um, yeah, that's it. Wound, wounded, wound, wind, wind. And if it makes you feel any better, this is very confusing for native speakers, especially kids learning English. This is crazy that they have so many similar spellings, but different pronunciations and different meanings. And I never use the word wound or wounded. And I rarely use the word wound or wind as a verb. So I guess I use wind and windy the most. Northern cardinal. It's a bird, but cardinal can be used on its own as an adjective for other things. And we don't say the middle I. So we drop the I and it's just cardinal. So not cardinal, card. Your tongue goes up for the D and holds it until you're ready for the N. Cardinal. Cardinal. Northern cardinal. The noun, province. Province. And the adjective, provincial. Provincial. The adverb makes this really long. Insinuatingly. I forgot the ly. Insinuatingly. Perjure. Perjure. They're spelled two different ways here, but they sound the same. And then analysis, singular. Analyses, plural. So that everything's the same except for the final cis, singular, sees, plural. And since this is just pretend spelling, if it helps you to think of real spelling, these all sound the same. Sees, or the water, sees, or the verb to catch, sees, all sound the same. Analyses. And the verb, analyze, analyze. The verb oppose, oppose. The noun opposition, opposition. And the adjective opposite, zit or sit, either way, opposite. And unmolested, unmolested, and tallied. Make sure you're making an a like ta. Even though the word looks like the word tall is in it, we don't say tallied. We only say tallied. And we didn't get to these, I'm sorry. I'll do it again without stopping. Beater, bitter, better, wound, wounded, wound, wind, wind. I did that backwards. Wind, wind. Northern cardinal, province, provincial, insinuatingly, perjure, analysis, analyses, analyze, oppose, opposition, opposite or opposite, unmolested, tallied. I made it through. I don't know what's happening with my throat right now. Thank you. And I won't be having intonation tomorrow. I'm going out of town. So I will see you next week Monday for pronunciation, Tuesday for pronunciation, and Wednesday for intonation. So thanks and have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.